Are we gonna look at it first, or are we just gonna like go blindly?
Let's look at it first.
Might as well. I want to be prepared because it's gonna suck if we get something and we're just openly disappointed. What is it? What is that?
That's an empty Weller bottle? What the crap, Sazerac? Welcome back, everybody, to This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Barry. And with me, just like he always is,
Right here, baby.
right here next to me, it's my co-host, the whiskey mutant himself, Eric.
Right here.
Hey, man.
Right now.
Right here, right now. Watching the world wake up from history. I think that's the lyric.
Is it?
I don't know.
Is it?
Yeah,
Either way,
sure.
we're here.
Who
You're
cares?
Here. I'm here. We're all here.
This is a big episode. I'm happy that
Big.
you are here listening to it. We have got a lot to talk about and cover this week. But before we get to that, just want to say, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. If this is your first time listening to an episode, thank you for checking it out. New episodes every Wednesday. If you're coming back, hope you've been great. Hope you've had a wonderful
Welcome.
week. It's good to see you. I missed you.
I'm glad that got cleared up.
I am too.
You look a lot better.
You do. But maybe call the doctor first next time.
Yeah. When it starts smelling that way, something's wrong. But glad you're back.
Thanks for being here. You can follow us on social media if you would like to do so at My Bourbon Pod, at Whiskey Mutant. And you can support the show on Patreon for as little as $1 a month, but at patreon.com/My Bourbon Podcast. I forgot the actual link. For as little as $5 a month, there's bonus content over there that comes out every single week. It's about an hour of bonus content.
Yeah, it's a whole nother episode, basically, if you put it together.
Pretty much, including the uncut version of this main episode that comes out every week for everybody. And if you're listening to the audio version on Wednesday, the video version comes out on Friday on YouTube as well.
We get so much over on Patreon.
You get a lot of stuff on Patreon. You get a lot of stuff in general from us.
I don't like that new logo on Patreon.
It's garbage. It's horrible.
The new Patreon logo, not our logo.
No, our logo's still the same.
Yeah. So
I don't know if it'll ever change. I want to do some rebranding that's just a little bit more of like us.
yeah,
But in general,
And Pete.
Oh boy,
and cigarette.
and cigarette. They're finally putting me on the logo.
I'm on the logo.
Hey, Chucky,
Hey, Chucky, I got
you've
my
never
own-
been on. Oh wait, you've got your own pizza chain? What?
I forgot about that. Get out of here.
But we normally kick off episodes with Flying Blind or Sips and Snacks, and I think that we might be doing Sips and Snacks this week based on what's on the table over
I got to
here.
make it up to you because I tricked you last week. I tricked you. I gave
You
you a
did.
trick.
You
So
did.
I wanted to give you a treat. Okay. We're going
I
to pair.
appreciate that.
We're going to pair one of my favorite fall snacks straight from the pumpkin patch from Evan's Orchard, the apple cider donut. And we're going to pair it with one of my favorite bottles, Wild Turkey 101.
Now tell me, how much did you pay for that Wild Turkey
I paid
101?
$20 for this, just like it has been for a long time.
Yes.
Just like it deserves to be. Anyway,
All right, we'll get there. I don't want to blow the proverbial load.
there's a
early.
reason I had this bottle sitting here. I made sure we were going to pair this just for this. But anyway,
Fair enough.
but no, this is going to be a great pairing because to me, I love Wild Turkey 101. It tastes so good, and it's got spice and it's got apple. It's just got it all. I'll be honest. And then I put this little donut in here.
I have to move my coffee cup out of the way.
You know this will be really good with coffee too, probably.
Probably.
There you go.
Eric made me coffee.
I put it in the wifey cup.
Oh.
I mean, I'm pretty sure these are the same way that probably every like apple orchard or pumpkin patch makes, but there's just something about it. They put something special in this.
Crack.
Mm-hmm.
You put crack in it.
Oh my god! And pour a little whiskey on it, a little turkey 101. Oh my God, bro. It does give it that little extra kick of spice.
Oh.
And the apple cider kind of shines through like a spiked apple cider. Oh, that's great.
I almost said I'm not a fan.
I was like, what?
I'm not upset with this.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. This whole thing has been a lie. There's a camera there. There's a camera there. There's a camera.
Damn it. Freaking practical joke.
I got you.
Freaking punked over here.
This is a spectacular pairing. Continuing to show that Wild Turkey 101
is the king.
It's just so versatile.
It's the pride of Florence.
We got it. Look, man.
I'm sorry.
We got to hold on to some of it.
I'm sorry.
Just hold your horses a little bit.
I'm trying.
Okay? And tell me, what have you been drinking recently?
What have I been drinking? Well, I have been drinking a little bit of our collaboration pick with our friend David from the Whiskey in My Wedding Ring.
Too.
It is a barrel rye finished in Armagnac barrels. Still holding true to, there's so much finished whiskey out there. But I gotta say, it's so good. And we actually picked this back in the summer, and it took a little while to get bottled. Either way, it's great. There's a link if you want to get some.
In the description.
Yeah, got bottles left. They're going out to a couple of different groups, but get you one, pair it, and tell me what you think. What else have I drank? Made a old fashioned the other night, and I used speaking of David, I used the Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye in it.
Nice.
And it was so good. I don't normally do high proof.
I love high proof
in my old fashioned, only because I would drink them too much. You know what I mean? Like,
well, fair.
You make 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces of barrel proof old fashions or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be bad. It'd be bad for me. But fair it's enough. Great. So yeah, if you got that right, make an old fashioned out of it. It's good. A little bit of smoke, a little bit of orange in there. And honestly, that's about it.
Yeah.
I with work and everything, didn't get a lot of drinks in, but that's why I'm here today, so I can drink.
Well, I wanted to bring up a point that was made on the Patreon about the tip-top proper old-fashioned that we had last week. Tully Weeds, one of our patrons, commented on the uncut episode and said that this review says the whiskey in the old-fashioned is from MGP.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
No wonder I liked it. It was good.
No complaints. I haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Again? Did they send it to you?
No. Where did I buy it?
Because I wouldn't mind keeping a few of those around.
Oh, I bought it at Unlimited Spirit.
Okay.
So
wouldn't mind having a few.
But you can buy them online. They'll ship them to you.
Yeah.
As well. But anything else? I cracked open the barrel rye. Excuse me. On my live stream last night, where we did a live watch party of Mamu, and had some really good response to it. If you want to watch that, you can just head to YouTube and search for Mamu short film or Mamu film shortage. Film shortage is the YouTube channel that is hosting Mamu. It premiered it yesterday as well. Yesterday as of recording as well.
It's really good
for Halloween week. I've since it came out again, I've watched it like 3 times.
And now you don't have to worry about people finding your house.
Yeah, exactly. That is my old house. Actually, my old house.
Yeah.
You know the one thing that I regret about all that, though? My actual car with my actual license plate is in a shot in the movie.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
When it shows the outside.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. So that's great.
Mamu's back there waiting on you.
Mm-hmm.
The real Mamu.
I got to show you this picture too. My cousin, who was the creative director, producer and everything behind Mamu. I was talking on the stream that I wish we had a picture of Dane in the Mamu costume, just so I could show people
behind the scenes.
Yeah,
little BTS.
And, well.
Oh, that's Dane naked.
Here's a shot from the baby monitor.
Oh, Lord. That's so creepy.
I'll put it up on screen.
Good afternoon.
As well. But, yeah, it was good stuff, man. It was a lot of fun. But
Dane looks good.
Yeah. Here's my daughter's new favorite baby doll.
Out of there.
Look,
I woke
she
up
was
to
sleeping.
That you sent me that, and I woke up to it. That was the biggest trick you've done to me in a while. I thought like my text preview came up and said she loves you. I thought it was going to be like a picture of like Eden, like watching the show or something. And I opened it up and it was that. That's not what I want to wake up to.
I'll put a picture on screen, but Eden got the most beautiful and special new toy.
My very first
this past week. My
witchcraft doll. My first dead doll.
Comes with real push pins, so you can trick your enemies.
Lord, it's so scary.
Or maybe your family. Who knows? Anything else that I've had to drink, though? I've been on a big Maker's cast strength kick this past couple weeks as well.
It's good.
Good stuff. Oh, you know what else?
What?
Regular old Buffalo Trace.
Good shit.
So good.
I've had that, but I've talked about it already. But like, I'd have regular Buffalo Trace or a pick, whatever, every time the Bills play.
It's Buffalo Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Buffalo Trace. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Get it?
I get it.
Get it?
Yes, I get it.
But, because it's Buffalo.
I know.
There's a buffalo on the bottle.
Wait, there's a buffalo?
Get it?
How long's there been a buffalo on the bottle?
I don't know.
Where'd you get that?
I don't even know where it's from.
What's Buffalo Trace?
Never heard of it.
All right. But yeah, I picked up a bottle randomly a couple weeks ago, and it's just really good.
It kind of sucks.
It's just really solid.
Let me restart. It kind of sucks that you can't just walk into one of our stores and get just regular Buffalo Trace anymore.
Yeah.
It's even hard to find. It's there. I mean, they're somewhere, but you can't just go into your normal store and be like, "Hey, I'm
it's
going to
being held for a lottery."
Yeah, we're going to. I just need some Buffalo Trace.
Yeah. All right.
I'm getting strapped.
We need to.
We got something to talk about. I mean, y'all maybe know what we're going to talk about. I don't know.
I think most people probably
I'm sure they're
do.
waiting on us to talk about
Here,
it.
you need some of this as well, because this is the only way that we can deal with some of this. And here's the thing. I want to preface this conversation by saying that there is no one person to blame for this situation. Pricing is subjective. The ability to own bottles that are that exclusive is not something that everybody can attain. So I want you to keep that in mind, and also keep in mind we are not trying to call anybody out specifically, because we have friends on at all angles with this, and it's not our intent to ruffle feathers, as it were.
I mean,
it's just
I mean, this is just whatever I say is just how I feel about everything. I mean, we're talking about the Pride of Anderson County releases that just came out. If you haven't seen that, go to the Instagram. Rare Character got the opportunity to bottle some wild turkey. And we'll tell you how we felt about it. I personally, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to be the positive. I'm going to give you my positive spill, and then I'm going to give you the rest of the story.
Well, before we get too far into it, I want to talk about specifically what these products are.
You talk about that.
There are 3 individual single barrels. One is a 13.5-year-old bourbon aged on the 4th floor of Camp Nelson E and bottled at 120.6 proof. The second one is another 13.5-year-old bourbon, also aged on the 4th floor of Camp Nelson E and bottled at 119.8 proof. And then the third one is a 9.5-year-old rye whiskey aged on the 4th floor of Tyrone Q, so their main campus, Rickhouse Q, at 116.8 proof. Okay. We'll talk about the other side of this in a second.
Yeah.
Looking at all of this, we didn't really know initially what the details on it were. It had been announced on Rarebird 101's Patreon initially, and then the TTB labels started to leak out and everything. And so, initially, it was just unfettered, abject excitement.
Yeah.
I was just gleeful.
Yeah.
That was something that was going to be out in the world. I thought it was initially kind of odd that it was a product that was going to be bottled by Rare Character. And truth be told, I still don't really know why it's not just a product that Turkey could have put out themselves.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side of this, and here's the deal. Here's the deal. There was very little liquid that was left in these barrels. It was always going to be a little pricey.
Yeah, I expected it.
However, I don't think any of us were prepared for just how pricey these bottles are going to be. The first barrel is $500 a bottle. The second one is also $500 a bottle, and the rye whiskey is $400.
It hurts. It hurts your soul.
It's such a disappointment and such a letdown to see essentially what should be like $150, $200 whiskey.
Even was like maybe $250. I would have been okay with
sure.
$250.
It literally feels like they're selling one bottle for the price of two.
Yeah.
And look, sorry.
No, go ahead.
The reason that we're talking about this, it's not just because we think that the pricing is bananas, because we do. It's also because this shook some of the bourbon community to its core this week. People were pissed at Pablo at Rare Character. People were pissed at Dave Jennings at Rarebird 101. And it just it goes back to what I was saying. I don't think that this is any one person's doing. And also, I don't think that anybody did this to make a quick buck and get the better of you. This community has become increasingly transparent over the past few years and increasingly willing to tell you how they feel about your shortcomings.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it is.
So to me, this is not an indictment of Pablo or Dave Jennings or whomever else. It's almost an indictment of how unbelievably complex and confusing and painful it is to be a bourbon consumer in 2023.
Yeah. Yeah, especially to be a bourbon enthusiast.
I
mean. So when I first saw the release, and I want to try to keep this side positive, because I've come around to what I originally was kind of thrown off by and upset by, but when I first saw it, I completely forgot about us seeing the label and stuff. Yeah. All I seen are our friends and some other group of people having this celebration of this bottle that's coming out. And it wasn't oh, I'm mad. I didn't get any or something. No, it was, I legitimately was am I that out of touch? Why don't I know anything about this? Not saying that somebody should have told me on their own. I just feel like I've lost touch with what's coming out and what's going on. Well, how did I miss this? So initially, this seemed like the most if you know style bottle I've ever heard of.
Well, and it kind of was.
And yeah,
honestly, it was that that very like exclusive. I don't think gatekeepy is the right phrase to use in this scenario, but at the very least, it did feel like there was a level of being a part of the club
Right.
that
And
you had to engage with in order to even understand that this was a thing out in the world.
Right. But I kind of, in my head, I go, you know what? That's stupid of me to be upset because I just felt out of touch with how things are and all that. Because on the bright side, this is an amazing feat that they did.
It is. It absolutely is. It is so rare for Wild Turkey to have their product bottled by another company.
Yes. And if anybody could pull that off, I think it would be Dave Jennings. Mm-hmm. I mean, just honestly, like, we know that he's probably had some of the craziest stuff that Wild Turkey has to offer that's never going to see, daylight. That's, so seeing him be able to do that, seeing all these people get to try it and get to be a part of the tasting and pick it, that I should have went straight to being happy for those people, because I am now thinking about it. Like, this is a big deal. This is a big thing in bourbon as a whole. That I can't deny, and I'm jealous, not out of like mad jealous. I'm jealous that like I didn't get to like try it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's envy in a positive way. Like, that's going to be. I've heard it's good. We have friends that have had it.
It's like it's almost like a congratulatory.
Yes, it's
spite.
Like, yes, exactly, exactly. But then that's my positive side of this. Like, I'm very happy for everybody that was part of this. You did something great. You did something that not hardly anybody. I mean, well, I don't even know how those single cask nation things work. Like, I know that was turkey and all this stuff, but like, this was a big deal. And then I saw the price.
As we all did. As everybody was thrown for a loop when we saw that for some people, their entire week's wage
some people
would have gone towards buying a bottle
or getting the whole set and stuff. And listen, I'm going to be straight with you guys listening. I have a job. I have bills, but I know how to save money. If I want to get something, I can put money back. But there is no justification that I can see, that I know of, that justifies this bottles being this much.
Here's something I want to point out too. The reason that we're talking about this specifically is because of how recent this is. Yeah. Right? This is also not a pass for something like the Woodford Reserve Baccarat bottle, which is $1,000.
Right.
It's literally $1,000 for a bottle. High-end scotches, high-end Irish whiskeys.
Even Willet products. I love
Kentucky
Willet
Owl. Like, there's so many that we could throw on this pile as well. But the reason I think that it hurts so much...
because it's Wild Turkey.
Is because it's Wild Turkey.
And that is the thing. Like, yes, we know prices are crazy right now. We know all that. And if whoever signed off on it's okay to sell this has lost touch with the average bourbon consumer or fan. You have basically signed off to making Wild Turkey a Rolex watch. Wild Turkey is the thing for people who like love great whiskey and love that it's affordable, and it's for everyone. And this, you took Wild Turkey and you put it on a level that people can afford, and you made it into like basically like a trophy for anybody who gets it. I have Russell's 13 sitting back here.
You've got the Voyage sitting over there.
We got a Voyage
too.
Russell's 13 is 114 proof, 13-year-old, maybe more on some. This is 13 and a half at 119, and that was $75. I've got Master's Keeps over there that barely hit 250. 17-year-old Wild Turkey over there, like blended and made by Eddie himself, and like it tears me up that they've took Wild Turkey and they've made it into this. Like, this is, it's ridiculous. And we buy expensive stuff, we do all that, but like, you've just lost point of what's great about Wild Turkey. And you put it in a bottle and you showed it around and you made it something. It's just, you either got to put off a bill or whatever. And if it was your personal, like, whoever decided this, if it was your personal mission to do that and you saw the price that it would cost and you said, I don't care, I want to do this, that's fine. If that's the case, leave it private.
Yeah.
Leave it as like a personal.
It's a really good point.
Leave it private to the Patreon. Leave it private to like the group that helped pick it. Let them spread it out amongst themselves. Don't put it all over the place. Put a lottery on it, because $500 13-year-old Wild Turkey is not what Wild Turkey is about to me. And I just feel like whoever was okay with that, it was either their eyes were on the goal of getting this done, or they just completely forgot about what is like really good about Wild Turkey. And that's the fact that it's great, it's affordable, and that's what kills me the most. And that's why we're so riled up about it, because we love Wild Turkey so much.
And this was also something that was, this was a point of contention for us as well when we were reviewing Voyage, right? Because for it to be $250, $300 finished Wild Turkey finished bourbon, it was just heartbreaking. I mean, truly, it was something that we were like, there's no reason for it to be this expensive. Even when we talked about the craft that went into it, the extra time that went into finishing it, and it's stock that's set aside, that's not going out to the public immediately, that's all understood. Wild Turkey's making enough money.
Yeah.
I think Rare Character's making enough money.
Yeah.
Too. Like, it just further escalates the barrier of entry that people are facing right now as new bourbon drinkers.
It does. And
because it shows that you can get away with it. And it shows, again, this is the thing that I keep saying over and over and over again, people are going to buy this and they are going to pay this absurd price for it, and everybody else is going to suffer for it. We are all going to feel the repercussions of it over the coming years, because the people who are the most able to vote with their wallets are the ones who are paying the insane prices.
Yeah.
It pisses me off so much that there is no good middle ground anymore. But the fact, though, that we still keep fighting for like the daily drinker is a huge, important part of what it means to be a bourbon enthusiast. Wild Turkey is a daily drinker. Yes, they have special bottles, but at its core, this is the everyman's bourbon.
Yeah.
And that has been lost. It has been lost. I think it is an abject failure for us to not acknowledge the fact that the goalpost keeps getting shifted and shifted and shifted. And I understand that the economy is in the can. I understand that the interest rates are through the roof. I get that. But we shouldn't be made to suffer because the rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
Well, and the thing is, people were posting and doing this. You change the game and all that. There's a better chance you changed it for the worse, because the company behind Wild Turkey, who probably decides prices and stuff, is going to see this, and they are going to know that, oh, you've got a special release. Well, let's raise it up about another $100.
And other companies are going to see it as well. And that is what gets me the most about this, is that at the end of the day, bourbon distilleries, companies that invest in bourbon distilleries, are still companies. They do not care about you. They care about the fact that you are giving them money, and that is the end of it.
Yeah.
That is the God's honest truth.
And like I said, I don't know shit about this. I'm simply a bourbon enthusiast looking from the outside in, and you can say whatever you want. But somebody signed off on this. knowing that they probably had a 11 or 12-year-old Russell's pick at one point that was $75 and close to, it's bottled at 110, but that's pretty close to 119. And they were like, you know what, $500, let's just do it. That just makes no sense to me. And I don't know, it tears me up though, like you said. Like, this is the everyday, the wild turkey, this is what we love about it, and it's going to hurt it more than it's going to do whatever. I just don't see the justification for this price.
Even if it were a short barrel,
who cares?
I think that's I think it's a logical fallacy. Truly, to be
well,
like,
then say that. Say there was 10 bottles of this that came out of this barrel. Okay, that might make sense. You did a lottery on it. You put it out there. Like, I mean, if it's that short of a barrel and it's that expensive, like I said, keep it private. Keep it between the group that did it. And then people will post about it. People will see what you've done and all that. And I will look at it just like I do these fantastic, like, Willet picks that I see that I will never get to try unless the bar has it, is because a group came together and decided we're going to, like, put our money together and do this. And, then they sell it to maybe some friends and stuff like that. This was a public thing. Everybody's seen it. And I'm sure the majority of people saw the price and were immediately let down because they can't afford that. Even if they can afford a $100 bottle every other paycheck or something like that, when you see $500, that's on a completely different level. Even if you see $299, that's still that's an I
have to think about it purchase.
That's a Master's Keep price. Wild Turkey does, cost that much for Master's Keep. You know what? This is special. I'll pull the trigger on $299. $500 is a completely different level.
It's not even the same ball game. Like, honestly, it's FU money.
It is. And
that's what pisses me off.
And the thing about Wild Turkey is Russell's picks, you're not getting much different than what's coming straight out of the barrel. Wild Turkey, if you're listening and you've not really thought about it, you're not going to get some crazy high proof Wild Turkey no matter what you do. There's probably some sitting around, but they put it down to 110, and this is literally, one of them is 119, and 2 years more than a Russell's pick that I've found on the shelf before. There's no justification for this price. And somebody, if you're listening and you're part of it and you're upset, tell me, please.
Talk to us about it.
I want to know why.
This is not the end of this conversation. Our viewpoints are not the only ones that should matter. But I will say this too, in defense of us getting heated about this, in defense of me getting heated about this, for the longest time we have said, it's just bourbon. It's a luxury. Yes, it is. But this is still something that we really care about.
Well, this is more...
I wouldn't have been doing this podcast for 6 years if I didn't care about
It's the stuff like this, though, that makes it's getting to the point where it's even more out of our reach. Now, it's not even a luxury. It's more like a
second mortgage.
I don't even understand. Like, I don't know. I expected this bottle to come out $250 or something, but when I saw $500, I just about lost it. And the fact that somebody signed off on that and was like, okay, because we're just being point blank about it. They know it's going to sell. There's enough people that have fuck you money to do that. Or there's people that really love it and said, I'm going to save my money up and I'm going to buy it. And that's fine too. I just think in general, this price is the most negative thing I could see out of a thing that was so cool and so big and had to do with some of our favorite whiskey that, it pretty much made me not. It was just a sour taste in my mouth when I saw that, because I started thinking of everything. I thought of everything negative. That's the reason that price was like that, and I think that's just natural. There's nothing about this on the outside. Like I said, they come to me and they say, "Well, this was a charity bottle or something." They could have said that. I don't think that's the price. I'm just saying.
No, that's not the case at all.
That could have been something. Okay,
it's lining pockets.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I really do think whoever was okay with that price, you've lost sight of what being a bourbon fan is, and what loving wild turkey is. And that's the thing. That's what I'm most upset about, is because this is going to have a more negative effect on all our special wild turkey releases, or could be the whole company as a whole. I don't know. Yeah, it's just frustrating. It's not and I'm sure there's people listening. You're just jealous that you don't have one. No,
I don't care. Like genuinely, it is not it's not an envy thing. It's protecting what is sacred to us. That's what it is. And if you continue to chip away at the things that we hold dear, this is the result.
Yeah.
We get frustrated, we get angry, and I need to bring my blood pressure down.
I got some meds.
But it's just like, what did you think was going to happen? Did you think that we were all just going to lay down, turn over, and take it? Like, honestly, I mean, this is not, you cannot look at what has been set and not expect there to be some kind of backlash to it.
Yeah.
That's it. That is it. You have failed the bourbon community.
That's true. That's how I feel. I mean, I feel like it's more of a negative impact than a positive. Because all these brands that are overpriced, we know they're overpriced. They started out like that. So you expect that. I don't ever expect wild turkey bourbon to be this expensive, even if it's bottled by something else. I could care less if it's in a different bottle. Yes, it would be great to have straight from the barrel wild turkey, but we almost get that anyway at a fraction of the price. There's nothing on the outside looking in that justifies this to me. And it honestly makes me more upset the more I think about it, just because it's just going to have a negative effect on everything. So, yeah. I went from being upset because I thought I was out of touch to being upset because of how deeply passionate about wild turkey I am, but not passionate enough to just throw my money away, because the whole point of wild turkey to me, like you said, it's the every man's, every female's, every person's bourbon that you can afford. And you can pay $20 and you can get something that tastes way above its price range.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's how I feel.
So let us know what you think. Again, if you are part of this and you want to set the record straight, or you have a counterpoint to anything that we have said that actively progresses the conversation, but, doesn't just stall opinions, let us know. Email's in the description. Socials are in the description. You know where to find us. We'll fight for the things we love.
Yeah.
And we'll stand up for what we always have. Which is fair and honest.
I would greatly appreciate any explanation. And, nobody owes us that. But, I mean, I feel like if it can be charged without giving us a reason, then we can ask. So that's just how I feel. Speaking of bourbon that we probably will never be able to get, that's a great segue to our review today. We got to get happy again. I don't even know Perry doesn't even know what we're reviewing.
So we're back, baby.
We're back.
We got an email the other day with the press release for the Antique Collection from Buffalo Trace. And I shot my shot and said, hey, we've gotten samples in the past. We would really like to get samples again.
Please.
And the PR person from Sazerac emailed me back and said, Samples are limited. If you have a couple, 1 or 2, that you would prefer, let me know and we'll see what we can do for you. So I said back, we'd love to try the William Larue Weller. And if you have it, the George T. Stagg. Just kind of like tossing that out there.
So we're going to find out together what we actually got.
Because we've not been told. Like, no email has told us what we got. So this could be... I don't know. I don't even have words. I'm excited.
Either way, it's fun to try this.
Back!
It's fun to try this. Yes, we probably won't get a bottle unless we win in a raffle. But most of the raffles we enter, we at least know it's going to be $90 or $100 or whatever it is. You know, but anyway.
So we could have... I mean, there is a chance that we just have one sample in here. Right? I think that's the overwhelming
I'm just
reality.
Happy we get to try something. And this is fun. This feels like a blind box.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
What?
Look what the box says.
Well, that's just a box. That's still good, though. You never know.
I know, but...
It says handy on it. They just gave us a handy. It says handy. Let's see if they use the handy box. There's a box. There's a box in a box.
We got a box.
Box in a box. Box in a box. And the box is sealed as well. You need your knife.
Oh, come on.
And I see it. It is not handy.
Ladies and gentlemen.
W.
It is William Larue Weller.
W.
Oh, my gosh.
Cheers, Perry.
Thanks, Jaleesa.
All right. Let's see. I think everybody knows what comes in the antique collection. They know whatever.
Yeah, everybody else has done their reviews and whatnot. We got to do our own one.
So there is an Eagle Rare 17 this year, and it's a 19-year-old. The oldest release since its 23-year inclusion. There is a George T. Stagg this year, 135 proof. This was a 15-year-old bourbon. Saz 18, as always, the same. Let's see, Thomas H. Handy, 124.9 proof. That was a 6-year. And then the one we have, the WLW Weller Bourbon. 133.6 proof, surpassing last year's proof offering of 124.7. This year's offering was distilled in the spring of 2011. So, 13? How old
That's when
is
I
this?
graduated from high school.
12, 13 years old?
Yeah, I thought that they had like 13-year-old in this, but maybe it is just 12-year-old. I don't know.
This year's offering distilled in the spring of 2011, and barrels were aged in warehouses C, L, M, and N. Like I said, 133.6 proof. There's some notes. I'm not going to read that. Yeah. WLW. And once again, this is our sample from this year's Buffalo Trace Antique Collection.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get all of them like we have in the past, but it is nice just to be considered, I suppose.
Anyway.
And there it is. Sitting on the screen. I'm very excited.
I'm excited. I'm very excited to have this after the rage that we just went through. And unfortunately, this will be probably the only time I get this one. But you know what? I got it right now. It's in my hand. It's in my hand. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
So good.
It's got a lot of ethanol on the nose. But whoa. It made my mouth water. It made my mouth water.
Barrel aged strawberries. Oh my goodness. Strawberries and
Molasses and cornbread
Yeah. It's like cornbread with syrup and strawberries on it. And it's a dark one.
It's a dark boy.
A dark.
No, I can't say that.
What? Let's try that again. And it's dark.
It is.
I'll tell you that.
Quite dark.
Look
at the
legs
legs.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, it smells like cornbread and strawberries. Oh, my goodness. Every time you go back. Oh, that's so good.
Brown sugar, cinnamon, campfire, too. I mean, it's deep. It's dark.
Classic.
It's complex. It's
what you want bourbon to be.
what you want bourbon to be.
All right. Sink it and think it.
Think it and sink it.
Think it and sink it. We sink it and then we toast. Listen to anything. That's a roller coaster.
Whoa!
Right up front, it punches you in the face, but then it slows down and like just coats the back of your tongue. And then it's almost like, this is weird. It's almost like I got the finish in reverse. Like I drank it and then all of a sudden the finish came back up.
Yeah, like a reverse Kentucky hug.
Kinda.
I guess that's just indigestion.
No, but I got flavors. I felt like the finish kind of like wasn't there, and then all of a sudden it was cream savers.
It is absolutely 100% strawberry cream savers. Dude.
Oh my God.
There is so much ethanol on this.
That is one of my favorite feelings, is when you get so much flavor, but you also like, even being someone like us who, drink tons of different kinds of stuff, tons of different proofs, like even that like puts me back for a second and go, whoa, this is high proof. Like you put that in a blind, you're like, this is high proof. This is 130 proof whiskey.
It is every bit 130 proof whiskey.
130,
but it's still, I know that I keep harping on how much alcohol there is on there, but it really is just packed with flavor.
Oh, it's a ton of flavor. I keep getting that strawberry creamsicle on the finish, and it's like,
I haven't even had a second sip yet.
Man, that's good. I don't know if I've had a wheated bourbon that's hit me so hard in the front and then went so like soothing in the back. So good. It dries you out.
It's so dry, but I like it.
Oh, I love it. I want some more of it.
Have you had it in a New Orleans?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that's like the first time in at least 100 episodes anybody said that on this podcast.
But it feels like it's something that's said all the time. It's just one of those things that feels like it's said so many times.
I went back and I listened to a bunch of old episodes, or parts of old episodes. I was just being reminded of like bits that we used to do.
Oh, yeah. You were trying to make a best of, weren't you?
Yeah, it's too hard.
It's a lot of work
to do. It's a lot of work. If I had done it like per 50 episodes or per year, that would have been easier. But
I've almost drooled there just saying it. It just smells so good. It's just one of those that just makes you it's just so good, that smell. You can smell it and dive into it and get all the strawberry and the cornbread, but then you can just take a quick whiff and it's just like it reminds you of being in a rick house. I love that. I just love that. So now the question is...
She loves you.
Stop. Don't. The question is, how long will this last?
This sample?
Yes.
I don't know.
Let's bury it and then just come back to it.
For good luck?
Yeah.
On our wedding day?
And then open it and like at the end of the year. I don't know. I'm just glad I got to try this. This is great.
No, I want to hold on to this. Once the studio gets like fully set up, they're putting up walls right now. in the studio. I'll be able to organize some stuff and get the collection in place. And we'll just kind of tuck this into the bourbon cabinet and say goodnight, Moon, together.
Good night, Moon.
Well, guess we got to review this one, don't we?
I think you've heard our review. I mean,
well,
we got to go through. Well, I mean, we got to go through.
Yeah, because this is not like.
It's not a 20.
No, it's not. It's definitely not as good as the Four Roses 135th.
I can't. Do we remember what we gave it? 18, 19?
Well, we gave it a 20.
20?
Yeah.
I'm just playing. I don't know what we gave it.
I was gonna say, what happened?
I know. Just playing. It's close. I'll tell you what. We'll do it proper. We'll do it proper. Let's go through it. Tell them what we do.
We do. For anybody who's a new viewer, new listener of the show, we have a review system of nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5, and the final score is out of 20. Old listeners, you know how this works. We've been doing this since like episode 2, which actually we reviewed William Larue Weller on episode 2.
Look at that.
Here's the other thing, like going back through and listening to the
podcast.
podcast.
A full bottle of it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we split it 3 ways because that was the only way we could afford a $100 bottle back in the day. Yeah, now we're like, are we shooting ourselves in the foot based on the conversation we had earlier?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I mean, that's just that. Nothing's going to change how I feel. Anyway,
going back through and listening to old episodes too, first of all, made me realize how much my voice has changed since the very first episode.
I've noticed that myself.
And also how my regular speaking voice has kind of become my podcast voice as well.
Yeah,
not like 100% of the way. I'm much more.
Right.
I think I embellish it a little bit more on the podcast, but yeah, I don't sound quite as like hi and up here and
hi, I'm Perry.
Hi, welcome to the podcast. My name's Perry. It wasn't that. I mean, just trying to.
It's close.
Like, go back and listen to the first episode, and you'll hear.
You're close.
I'm just real gravelly, and I've been weathered by age.
Yeah, you're
and
old,
time.
bro.
See all the white hairs?
You're old, bro. We're all old.
I got gray hairs up on my.
I don't even have hair. Shut up. I don't even have hair.
You did. It's just scared.
It gone. It gone.
What a fun way to describe a receding hairline.
It's scared. I got scared hair.
It's just scared.
That's one way to put it.
All right. Nose on the 2023 William Larue Weller Buffalo Trace Antique Collection.
4.5. I love the smell of this.
I could really smell it all day. I'm going to give it a 4.5 as well. I think the palate, just with how rich and vibrant and multi-layered as it is, I mean, it's hard to, from a wheated bourbon, want too much more.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
5.
Okay. We're a little different.
Ooh.
You're right. It's hard for me to want more from this, but I get this.
You just want the W to stand for something else. Will it?
You got me there. I
mean, but inarguably, you prefer the wheated Willet profile
I do.
to the wheated Buffalo Trace profile.
I do.
So, I mean, that's...
But granted, I'm able to get the wheated Weller profile more easy and affordable than the Willet one.
Yeah, of course.
Either way, no, I think that this is a phenomenal palette. I'm giving it a 3.5 because what?
That's just the biggest difference that we've had in a long time.
I get everything. I'm giving the finish a 5. I get all that alcohol you were talking about up front. It punches me in the face first, and it takes me a second. And I don't start getting all the notes that I got until it hits the back of my tongue and starts doing that finish, that crazy finish.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's a phenomenal palette.
The finish just goes on and on and on.
I just get the majority of my notes, and my favorite part is this back of the tongue finish thing. It's a 5 on the finish for me. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the palate, there's a burn at the beginning that kind of knocks out some initial notes right up front. And then it slowly comes back once it starts going down the back of my tongue and into the finish. And that's the only reason I gave it a 3.5. Because I don't get notes until
it's completely fine.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I give the finish a 5. It's one of the most unique, full flavored finishes I've had in a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I can't disagree with you on the finish either. I think it's a 5 as well. Yeah, just a roller coaster of experiences. The hug is present, but also like some of the like brighter, sweeter flavors kind of take more of a backseat to oakiness, some maple, a good chunk of brown sugar too. Excuse me. It's great through and through. You know,
you can get so much from such a little sip of this too. It's crazy. Like, I'm just like savoring what's left, and like I took just a very minute sip, and it's just, you get just as much flavor in the smallest sip as you do like a full sip.
Now, okay, I'm not willing to just straight up go like, oh, because this is so great. Like $100 is still a lot of money for a bottle of bourbon. That being said, I mean, like, this is still a great deal for a 12-year-old product at this proof, at this exclusivity, and really compared to the other products in the weeded profile for the Buffalo Trace line, this is its own animal. I mean, it's not even close. There's not even Full Proof has nothing on this. They're different animals, man.
No.
Different ball house, different wheel.
I don't even think of like any of the other Weller products when I drink.
No,
this.
it's its own thing. But I mean, like, you know, it's still $100.
It's 5.
I'm giving it a 4.
It's a 5. I mean, if I was able to get this and it's $100 to $130 or whatever that you'll get at like raffles, I mean, that's an instant buy for me. It's the limited and the rarity and the
it didn't
allocated.
used to be that way.
It's that, you know, we would have to make a whole nother category to justify that. But like straight up price, what it's meant to go for, what most places will sell it to you that does it the right way. I mean, it's a 5 for me. I would buy this for $100.
I'd probably buy it for $150.
I'd buy it. Oh, yeah. If I saw this for $200, I'd buy it. But what's the saying? Like when they're twice on Sunday or something like that?
Every day and twice on Sunday.
Yeah, I would.
All day and twice on Sunday.
I would.
Once a day.
But yeah, I think out of the whole thing, the palate burned me right up front really quick, but then it slowed down, and that's the only negative I have about this. I was an 18. You're like a what, not
18.5.
18.5.
Yeah. Super high score. Super high score. I think this is incredible.
Yeah.
The only thing I still want to try the Stag, but
you get what you get.
We are
Harry.
very fortunate that we got to try this.
Oh, that's great. I'm sure somebody eventually will get a Stag and share a sample.
Well, we're supposed to be getting a sample of Maker Cellar Aged.
Really? Interesting.
Tony B of D.
I thought that's what he meant. He asked me, he was like, you know what you're going to get? I was like, huh? He's always tricking me.
We got barrel rings to get to.
You know how people can do a barrel ring?
I do know, but I want you to tell them.
You can go to your phone and you can either text or you can call 859-428 8253. Yeah, call that number, text it. We'll put you on the air. We'll read your text, and you'll be part of the show for a few minutes.
Yeah. Jared Quant texted in, asked, what's Lucy's cranberry cider punch recipe? Just equal parts cranberry and cider with spices to taste. Need this for party Thanksgiving this year. Yes, that's pretty much it. Equal parts apple cider and cranberry juice. And then she just uses cinnamon and rosemary to taste. And
it's good.
It's so good.
Had it.
It shouldn't be as good as it is, but like I said, I mean, she's a genius. Jared also left us a voicemail.
Oh, voicemail and a text?
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your favorite listener named Jared.
That's
sorry, it's been a couple weeks. Just been busy. And I actually forgot. I called in, left a story about the 8th grade girlfriend breakup over the Bills Super Bowl until I started playing in the episode. That was kind of a funny surprise. Anyways, I want to call in and let Derek know that I was thinking of him over the weekend. My wife and I watched the movie Air, which was the story of Nike in the 80s, getting Jordan and kicking off the whole the sneaker revolution. But the sneaker designer, Pete, I forget the actor's name, really reminded me of Eric. Pretty much take off Eric's hat, give him a list, and that's Pete.
Oh, my
so
God.
I found that ironic given how much Eric loved sneakers. He's pretty much in the movie. So you guys haven't seen it, obviously check it out.
It's good.
Derek, you'll probably enjoy it, given his love of sneakers. But, yep, that's it. Have a good week, guys.
Who plays Pete?
Peter Moore. Matthew Maher.
I don't know who that is.
You'll know him when you see him. That's funny. It's a great movie. I do recommend it. That guy. I mean, he's bald and he's got a beard.
That's hilarious.
And he's funny. So I'll take it, Jared.
There you go.
I'll take it. Yes, I love sneakers. And this movie's great. I completely agree.
I've still not watched it. I really need to.
It's good.
Then we got another from the man himself.
Oh.
The third man.
Billy? Oh, Billy.
Good morning, boys. How you all doing?
Pretty good.
Your friendly neighborhood Bill. Calling in just to see how you all are doing. Kind of a crazy little week here. I've been single parenting it while my wife is out of town for business.
You know what that means.
So it's a good time, especially when you have a teenage daughter. 10 out of 10 would recommend. So just thinking about life in general, I made an observation today.
Okay.
So I looked in the mirror, and I'm kind of in this in-between phase. Like, I need to get a haircut. My contacts are bothering me, so I threw on my glasses.
Okay.
But I kind of look a little gnarly. I look a little rough. And I don't think it matters what I put on from a clothes standpoint. I think I would just always look rough. Now, when I get my hair cut and my hair's on fleek, like the young kids say, it doesn't matter what I wear because I think I always look good. So my observation is if your hair looks good, you look good. Just kind of keep that top of mind. So another observation I noticed, our boy Tony Bag of Donuts living his best life, getting out there, enjoying all the fun little whiskey festivals and gatherings and all that other stuff.
He does.
I'm a little envious. I don't say that much, but he is definitely living his best life. So you go, Tony. All right, boys. Other than that, just keep being good to each other. Be nice to each other. It's been interesting, the shock that people have on their face when I hold the door open for them. Like, that should be commonplace. Why are you so shocked by this?
Because it's you.
Or maybe they just looked at me and they're just shocked by my appearance. Who knows? I have no idea. Anyway,
got the joke.
Boys, be well. Timbit fam, be well. Catch y'all next week. Maybe, if I remember. All right. Peace out.
Yeah, I want to point something out about the voice to text for Google Voice. It never catches his peace out at the end. Like, it just kind of see, yeah, it just.
What's it with people forgetting to call in? Both barrel rings said, I forgot. Y'all don't forget. How are you going to forget? If you're listening right now, we're reminding you because you have a chance to call in right now before we record. So call in right now.
You got like a whole week. Well, that's not true.
A couple of days before we actually record. So if you are listening right now, call in right now, and this is your reminder. But thank you both. Love you both. I don't have hair, so I can't agree with this because I think I look good when I wear a hat too. So, suck it, Bill.
I feel like we have done enough high proof hot takes this week.
I don't have any more.
Yeah, I'm all vitrioled out.
Talk about a movie.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about. We're gonna move to our segment known as Tips and Bits. It's a thing that we do where we recommend something for you to watch, read, listen to. It's not always bourbon related. Sometimes it is. Very rarely it's bourbon related. Mostly that gets that gets parlayed to people who are not familiar with the show.
True.
And they're like, oh, I got to come up with something bourbon all of a sudden. But yeah, tips and bits. Before we talk about Alien.
You going to talk about what's in your pocket?
I'm going to talk about two things then.
Oh.
The first thing is what's in my pocket. And I have been playing recently. For some reason, I had just an inkling to go back and revisit Pokemon Go.
Come on.
So I'm like way deep into it now. I wish I had more time to like get out and explore a little bit more with it. But a lot of it gets kind of relegated to I'm sitting at home and just opening it up, seeing what's around me. Or if I'm at work, there's like 4 Pokestops there, so I just get items and supplies and everything. But then I was like, I could be doing more. And so I got myself a little present, and it was the Pokemon Go Plus, which allows you to catch Pokemon when you're not even playing, like on your phone, and it spins Pokestops for you as well. So it's super handy. I mean, things that I would have missed otherwise, like it catches for me, and like I'm going around and it's just getting me
something you don't want.
I want them all. I want to be the very best.
Yeah, there was
like no one ever was.
There was some that he didn't want.
He sounds like super Pokemon racist.
Don't let them fool you, bro.
A Zubat? I don't think so.
I didn't show the whole story.
But then the other night, Lucy and I watched the new Haunted Mansion movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yet?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think? Yep.
Yeah.
It's so poorly paced. It's so unevenly funny. Like there are times where it is funny.
Danny DeVito saves the movie.
Yes. Tiffany Haddish really tries to save the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think she does a great job of it.
Yeah.
But it's just okay.
Yeah. I watched,
unfortunately.
Ernest Scared Stupid the other night.
I saw that.
Love it.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
But yeah, like even sitting there watching Haunted Mansion, I was like, I could edit this movie better. Just like cut out some of the weird stuff and make it
you should
more. I kind of want to
do it.
Like make a better, like edit a better movie together. Kind of like how Topher Grace did the, what did he call it with the Star Wars prequels? It doesn't matter. But anyway, not a great movie, but I would like to talk about a really great movie.
I could not believe you had never watched this before.
No, I had.
I thought you said you had never watched it.
No, I said I had watched it once before.
How long ago?
3 years.
Did you remember anything?
There were parts of it that I did. There were other parts that it was like watching it for the first time. Okay. And here's the thing too. With it having been 3 years ago, I mean, that was when Eden was born. So I was in the fog of
little aliens coming out of people's bodies.
I was in the fog of new parenthood and being a new dad and everything.
But yeah, we watched Alien.
Yeah.
1979, Ridley Scott. One of my
Sigourney Weaver
all-time favorite movies.
Ian Holm is in it. Bilbo Baggins. John Hurt.
Jones the cat.
Jones, who is awesome. Just a great cat, man. That cat actor was
that's good.
Top notch. I don't think it's okay. I feel like if we spoil this, it's been out for.
Oh my God! Yeah, spoiler alert for a movie that came out in 1979.
Yeah. But there are so many moments in this movie where I just am astounded that they were able to make it work in 1979.
Yeah, this. I was like, every time I rewatch it, I do this, but I'm like, okay, this came out in 79.
Oh, and Kentucky's own Harry Dean Stanton,
yeah,
in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace.
But I look at okay, if you don't know, Alien is about this group of basically miners, not miners, like children.
Yeah, not M-I-N-O-R.
Like space miners. They're bringing back a cargo of like minerals and stuff like that, and they're in hyper sleep, and they get woke up because Mother, the computer, wakes them up because there's a life form that they need to go check out. And so all of a sudden, basically, they go check this life form, like check this ship out, has some life forms in it, bring it back, and there's a alien that wants to kill them all or make more aliens. You'll find out later. And it's such a suspenseful horror movie that, like Perry said, does things that there's no reason a movie in 1979 should be doing this good. Because you look at like Empire Strikes Back, and you see when like Han gets frozen, like that dark, like the mist and like the gritty looking. That's this whole movie. Like the spaceship itself,
very claustrophobic,
very dark, very like just the sweat on people like makes things scary.
It's grimy.
Grimy, perfect word.
Grimy. It's musty. I mean, like it's just got this feeling of like you wouldn't necessarily want to be there if you weren't part of the crew that started there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you didn't want to get dropped into it.
And you follow along as this alien progressively gets bigger and bigger and bigger and hunts everybody down. And then one of the OG survivor girls, Sigourney Weaver, takes care of the alien at the end. But it's just so...
Meaning she kills it. She doesn't like adopt it and make it her baby.
Well, have you seen the other ones?
I actually have not.
Okay, well, you need to.
I know I need to. I
but
haven't.
The fun thing about the Alien series as a whole is they have different directors. Mm-hmm. So every movie feels different because this is a very Ridley Scott grimy, like, I mean, the android on there when they rip his head off, like that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. The alien, when he comes out, it looks crazy. When he's bigger and he has an alien, the little mouth that comes out of the little alien that comes out of his mouth, it's crazy. But then the aliens, which, spoiler alert, there's more than one alien in this one. It's James Cameron. So they take it, and instead of it being like suspenseful horror, it's like crazy action. Like they're battling. It's, game over, man. That's where that comes from.
Oh, okay.
And then the third one gets more like that typical like early 90s movie where like it kind of reminds you of like Hellraiser and stuff. Like they're on a prison planet. And it is by, oh my gosh, the director, he's like a French director, but I can't remember who it was. But that's his style movie. So every movie is like a different style.
Is it
Fincher?
Oh, David Fincher?
I think.
I was going to say Jan de Bont.
Yes, David Fincher.
Or Jan de Bont?
I mean, his movies are more like, it was made in 1992, and you're on this prison planet and all this. It's just an awesome series, but this movie has everything you want. It's got sci-fi, it's got suspense, it's got horror. They use sound, they use darkness, they use flashing lights just to make you scared. And there's no reason this movie should be made in 1970.
Yeah, it shouldn't have worked. I think, and it really does. It plays so well to the anxieties of being trapped on a ship in the middle of space. And the reason that they're woken up too is because of this creature. And, they were supposed to be woken up when they were home and they weren't home. And like thinking about, I'm trapped in the middle of space. Like, Just excellent, man. The scene that really did stick out, I think, the most to me this time around was the revelation that Ash, the scientist, the doctor on board, was a cyborg. Actually, he might have just been a straight up android.
I don't know. They plug his head back up, and it's insane. It looks like
it's such a great effect, but it's so of its time.
Yeah.
Where and I feel like it could have you could have taken like half of that shot before you see his head actually propped up on the table out, and it would have been a little bit more effective.
But they show the fake head, then
they show the fake head, and then it cuts to his real head, which is basically just Ian Holm with his head through a hole in the table.
Either way.
And a bunch of gunk all over his face. But
so good,
that was one of the things that I forgot about.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of relearning that as it went along. But yeah, that scene really just and what's great about this movie too, just as soon as you think it's over, it's not. And it ramps up the intensity again. And I like as much as like this warrants sequels, I feel like it lives on its own. Like it doesn't need sequels.
I think that's kind of what's good about the sequels is they are their own too.
Sure.
It changes up. Yeah, you have the same. You have Sigourney and you have Aliens, but they all feel different. They all feel like their own movies. So
sure.
It does do a good job of, I mean, like the time, like it's like, there's time skips and stuff like that. And there's clones in one of them and Resurrection. And they all feel like their own movie. So it doesn't take away if you like this movie and you don't like the sequel or the third one as much. It does not take away. They live on in their own, but this is by far the best, and it will be one of the best movies, period. Just for the fact that everything they did was amazing at a time when they shouldn't have been able to do this. If you watch Star Wars, like episodes 4, 5, and 6, and you think that looks good, like they took a horror element of that you don't see in Star Wars and they put it in a movie. So you get to see like this horror space, these ships, just this scary stuff going on, and it's just awesome. It's just awesome.
I agree. So it's your turn to recommend a movie for next week.
Okay, I've been trying to figure this out.
Okay.
And as much as I want to stay on, because have you ever watched Event Horizon?
I have not.
I want you to watch that, but I don't think we need to watch it because it's another sci-fi space horror.
Okay.
I want to go completely opposite, and I want to watch just something that's just, I want to watch a bonkers like slasher. What slasher movies have you not really watched any of?
Honestly, I've not seen a whole lot of the classics.
Have you watched the original Nightmare on Elm Street?
No.
There we go.
Okay.
You got to watch it.
All right.
The first one, they all get crazier as they go, but the very first one, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. There we go. Another classic.
Yeah.
For next week. And is that how we're going to round out? No, I guess we technically have one more.
I think we could figure out one. We got to watch a straight up Halloween movie. Halloween
Nightmare
Town.
Before Christmas. No, I don't want to watch Halloween Town. I don't want to watch Halloween Town at all.
Let's do this. And if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be pissed. Because every time I ask for people to do stuff, they don't do it. Listener, viewer, Patreon, Discord, everybody, name a horror / Halloween movie that you want us to watch. Not next week because we're doing a Nightmare on Elm Street, but for the week after. Get some stuff going on as soon as this episode hits so we have time to watch it before we record. Like, you've got to do it the day it comes out because we record shortly after.
Yep.
And if we get anything or multiple votes, or we'll narrow it down based on what, but I want to hear what you want us to watch, what you want to review with us. But you got, like, if you're listening and it's Wednesday, you got like right now to put it in there.
Yeah.
If we don't, we'll just have to figure it out the day before we record and go from there.
And if you're listening and it's Wednesday, that means that Eric's about to bring us home because that's the end of an episode.
That is the end of an episode. It's been a crazy episode. We went from fun to mad, and we've
back to fun again.
Fun and talking about movies. And please just understand that we're just passionate about this, and nothing we say or do is meant to be like mean to certain people. But I think when you have a platform like this and you are passionate about something and something happens, you should be able to say how you feel. You don't have to sugarcoat it. You don't have to let it go, because it is a topic of discussion. And whether you feel the same way that we do or you feel the complete opposite, that's okay. And that doesn't mean we're just being enemies or whatever. It's just what we do. We talk about bourbon. We love bourbon. So if you love it, you can go to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast and you can get all the extra stuff that we do. You get bonus episodes. You get this uncut. Honestly, this uncut is probably us like listening to my animals run around, and we had to stop the show. But we say a few things that
we say some things.
But we also did a review of this new riff on this week's Patreon content. We popped it. It's just a straight off the shelf new riff that actually surprised us greatly.
I just had a little bit of it, and it's fantastic.
We do pregame chats. We finish bottles that I have laying on the floor. We do samples that people send in. There's so much stuff on Patreon. You can support the show if you want to. Throw $1 here, but at $5, you get all the bonus stuff. And that's honestly the best deal ever. You get basically 2 episodes, maybe 3 if you want to listen to the uncut and the stuff and this one. But yeah, support the show on patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. If you want some merch, you can go to bourbonshop.threadless.com. If you want to send us an email, you can send an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. Tell us what you think about the episode. Tell us what.
Do you know what you said last week when you were giving the email out? You said, "This is my bourbon shop at threadless.com.
Oh, well, they got the picture, But yeah, if you comment on anything, we'll read it back out. If you have views, something you want us to say, that, comment, send an email, do all that stuff. You can follow us on all social media. You can follow the show at My Bourbon Pod. You can follow Perry at PRitter1792. You can follow me at Whiskey Mutant. Like, comment, subscribe, go to YouTube, watch the show. If it's Friday, then you're watching it because the video version comes out on Friday. It's true. Perry goes live every Thursday. He's gotten back to that once.
Thank goodness.
Once kids' sports calm down a little bit, I'll probably be joining him every once in a while. And then just tell people about us.
Leave a rating, leave a
review, all that. If you join the Patreon, you can also join our Discord where we talk amongst ourselves and send funny pictures and argue and do all the fun stuff that you do in a group chat. And that's it.
Well, I hate to put you on the spot.
I know about
but
this.
we do have a new Patreon member as well. Yeah. We have a new Patreon member.
Yeah, I know.
Tyler Ney.
I talked to him the other day.
Has joined at the $5 tier, which means that he gets all of the bonus content that comes out every week. And if you want to be like Tyler, once again, patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. How the heck did you convince Tyler to give us money?
Beef sticks.
Really?
Yeah, beef sticks.
Okay.
We were at a, in the mall when they have like those hot sauce shops and stuff. But we were actually at the other end of the mall. It's like outside the mall by like, you kind of have to go by the dumpsters. But there's a beef stick emporium. And there's just beef and sticks, and there's like...
Can you take a picture next time you go, please?
Yeah, no, I'll FaceTime you.
Okay.
I'm not talking Slim Jims, not talking about your normal gas station. Like, me and Tyler love unique meat. He saw me in there, and he was like, "Oh, I've seen you on Instagram, doing pour overs and stuff." And he was like, "I've thought about joining." I thought about joining the Patreon, and I was like, "Dude, like you literally have like so much meat in your hand right now, and meat sticks in your hand that like you would be perfect. You're the exact person that we have on our Patreon and our Discord. He was like, I never knew you appreciated meat sticks in somebody's hand so much. And I said, yeah, dude, I did. We actually went out to the parking lot, shared a pour. I did a pour over his meat stick. And the next thing you know, he was joining the Patreon. So appreciate it, Tyler.
Thank you, Tyler.
Yes.
And thank you, everybody, for listening and supporting the show and being here, whether it's your first time, your last time, or somewhere in between. We thank you so much. We'll see you real soon. Until then, though, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
And this is My Bourbon Podcast.